If love keeps appearing in your dreams, it's not imagination, it's a message. Ignore this, and you may miss what your heart has been waiting for. Why you keep dreaming about love lately is not random, not accidental, and not something your mind is doing just to pass time while you sleep, because dreams about love usually appear when something deep inside you is waking up, something that has been quiet for a long time is finally asking to be felt, and your soul is using dreams as the safest place to speak to you. Especially when you are awake, you keep yourself busy, distracted, strong, or guarded, because love dreams don't come when life is loud, they come when the heart becomes honest, when the noise settles, and when your inner world starts craving connection, meaning, warmth, and emotional truth, and lately your subconscious has been opening doors you didn't even know were locked, replaying emotions you thought you had healed from, faces you thought you had forgotten, and feelings you pretended didn't matter anymore, because love is not just about another person, it is about the part of you that wants to be seen, understood, chosen, and safe, and when that part doesn't get space during the day, it visits you at night, wrapping itself in symbols, moments, touches, conversations, and familiar emotions, not to confuse you but to remind you of who you are beneath survival mode, beneath routine, beneath loneliness, and beneath strength, because dreaming about love often happens when your heart is transitioning. When you are moving from one emotional chapter to another, even if consciously you feel stuck, because growth doesn't always feel loud. Sometimes it feels like remembering, and dreams are memories from the future trying to introduce themselves to you, and if these dreams feel vivid, emotional, or lingering even after you wake up, it's because they are not just dreams, they are messages, signals, emotional echoes asking for attention, asking you to slow down and listen to what you have been suppressing. Because maybe you have been giving too much without receiving, or maybe you have been protecting yourself for so long that love now feels distant yet familiar, and your mind is practicing what your heart secretly hopes for: connection without fear, affection without loss, intimacy without pain, and your dreams create a safe version of love where there is no rejection, no abandonment, no misunderstanding, because the subconscious heals by imagining what it needs, and if you are dreaming about love repeatedly, it often means you are ready for a new emotional experience, even if you don't consciously admit it, because readiness doesn't mean you are fearless, it means you are tired of being empty, and the universe often prepares us through dreams before it sends the real thing, allowing us to feel, rehearse, and soften before the moment arrives. And sometimes these dreams are about a specific person, sometimes a faceless presence, sometimes a past lover, sometimes someone you have never met, and each version means something different. Because dreaming of a past love doesn't always mean you want them back, it often means you are reclaiming a part of yourself you gave away during that connection, and dreaming of an unknown lover often means your soul recognizes the feeling before it recognizes the face, because emotions arrive before people do, and your inner world is aligning with an energy that matches you, and if these dreams feel peaceful, warm, and comforting, it's a sign that you are healing your relationship with love itself, no longer associating it only with pain, struggle, or sacrifice, but beginning to believe again, quietly, without announcements, without promises, because belief doesn't shout, it whispers, and dreams are whispers that feel loud because they come from silence, and if you wake up missing something you can't name, that's your heart remembering what it deserves, not what it settled for, and this phase often comes after emotional exhaustion, after long periods of independence, after disappointment, or after choosing self-respect over attachment. Because once you choose yourself, love starts finding its way back to you in symbolic form first, testing whether you are open enough to receive it without losing yourself, and your dreams are not asking you to chase love, they are asking you to become receptive to it, to soften where you have hardened, to trust where you have closed off, and to understand that longing is not weakness, it is direction, and the reason it's happening now, not before, is because you are finally emotionally strong. Enough to feel without breaking, and aware enough to love without disappearing, and your subconscious knows that timing matters more than desire, and this timing feels different because you are different, and these dreams are not about fantasy, they are about alignment, about emotional readiness, about inner permission, and about the quiet moment before something meaningful enters your life. Because love always announces itself internally before it arrives externally, and if you keep dreaming about it lately, it means your soul is stretching towards something real, something honest, something that feels like home rather than chaos, and the dreams will continue until you acknowledge what they are pointing to, not a person, not a memory, but a version of you that is ready to love and be loved without fear, without masks, and without running, and the more these love dreams repeat, the more they reveal that something inside you is shifting quietly. Because repetition in dreams is never about coincidence, it is about urgency, about a feeling that refuses to be ignored, and often this happens when you are living a life that looks stable on the outside but feels incomplete on the inside, when you are functioning, surviving, achieving, or distracting yourself well enough that no one would guess how much emotional space feels empty, and your subconscious chooses love as the symbol because love represents fulfillment. Not romance alone but wholeness, safety, belonging, and emotional nourishment, and lately your inner world has been craving softness in a world that keeps demanding toughness, craving intimacy in a life that keeps rewarding independence, and your dreams are where you finally allow yourself to feel without judgment, without strategy, without protecting your heart every second, because in dreams there is no risk, no consequences, no rejection, and that safety allows buried emotions to rise. Emotions you once silenced because they didn't fit the version of you that had to stay strong, and when love appears in dreams, it often means your heart is tired of pretending it doesn't need connection, because humans are not meant to do life alone emotionally, even the strongest souls still need to be witnessed, understood, and held in ways that words can't always describe, and if the love in your dreams feels gentle, slow, and emotionally deep, it suggests that you are no longer attracted to chaos, intensity, or emotional confusion, but to peace, consistency, and mutual understanding, even if consciously you haven't said this out loud yet, because the subconscious always updates first, it adjusts your emotional preferences before your mind catches up, and that is why these dreams may feel different from past fantasies, calmer, warmer, more meaningful, because you are evolving, and love now represents safety rather than excitement alone. And if the dreams include conversations that feel real, supportive, or emotionally validating, it's because you are learning how you want to be spoken to, how you deserve to be treated, and what emotional language feels like home to you, and your subconscious is rehearsing this not because you are lonely, but because you are ready, because readiness doesn't always look like desire, sometimes it looks like clarity, like knowing what you will no longer tolerate, and dreams use love to show you the emotional standard you are aligning with. And sometimes these dreams come after you've closed a chapter with someone, even if there was no closure, because the heart finishes what the mind could not, and dreaming is how the soul completes unfinished emotional stories, not to pull you backward but to release what no longer needs to be carried, and that is why you might wake up feeling emotional without knowing why, lighter yet thoughtful, because something has shifted, something has been processed, something has been let go. And if the dreams feel nostalgic, it doesn't mean you are stuck in the past, it means you are harvesting wisdom from it, reclaiming your emotional truth without reopening old wounds, and love dreams can also appear when you are stepping into self-love in a deeper way, because the way you treat yourself internally changes the way love shows up in your dreams, and when you start respecting your own boundaries, honoring your emotions, and choosing yourself consistently, your subconscious responds by showing you love that mirrors that respect, because dreams reflect alignment, not longing alone, and if the love feels mutual, effortless, and emotionally safe, it's because you are no longer trying to earn love, you are learning how to receive it, and receiving is a skill many people don't realize they need to practice, especially those who have always been the giver, the fixer, the emotional support for others, and when you finally allow yourself to imagine being cared for without guilt, your dreams become the training ground for that experience. Teaching your nervous system that love doesn't have to hurt to be real, and this phase often comes right before a significant emotional encounter in waking life, not necessarily immediate, but aligned, because the inner world prepares the outer world by first shifting beliefs, expectations, and emotional availability, and your dreams are doing that work quietly while you sleep, adjusting you gently so that when love does appear, you don't push it away out of habit or fear, and the reason it feels so vivid now is because you are emotionally present in a way you weren't before, you are no longer dissociating from your feelings, no longer numbing your heart, and love dreams thrive in emotional presence, because they require vulnerability, and vulnerability only comes when you feel safe enough within yourself, and that safety is something you have been building without even realizing it. There is also a deeper layer to why love has been visiting your dreams lately, and it has less to do with wanting someone and more to do with becoming someone, because dreams are not only mirrors of desire, they are mirrors of identity, and when love shows up repeatedly, it often signals that your sense of self is expanding beyond survival, beyond coping, and beyond simply getting through the days, because for a long time you may have been focused on healing, stabilizing, or proving your strength, and while those phases were necessary, they were not meant to be permanent, and now your inner world is reminding you that life is not only about endurance, it is also about connection, meaning, and emotional fulfillment, and love in dreams becomes the symbol of a life that feels emotionally alive rather than merely functional, and if in these dreams you feel more like yourself, more open, more expressive, more honest, it is because love allows authenticity to surface, and your subconscious is exploring that version of you. The one who laughs freely, speaks gently, feels deeply, and doesn't apologize for needing closeness, and this is important because many people unconsciously shrink themselves after emotional pain, they dim parts of their personality to avoid being hurt again, and dreams reintroduce those lost parts slowly, safely, allowing you to remember who you were before disappointment taught you to guard your heart, and if the love in your dreams feels familiar yet new, it's because it is connected to an emotional frequency you recognize but have not fully experienced yet. Like a song you somehow know without ever hearing it before, and that recognition often means alignment, because the heart knows what matches it long before the mind understands how or why, and these dreams are not pushing you to chase love, they are inviting you to stay open to it, to stop assuming that every deep feeling leads to loss, because your nervous system has learned patterns from the past, and dreams are how those patterns begin to soften, teaching your body that closeness can feel safe again, that vulnerability does not automatically lead to pain, and that being seen does not mean being abandoned, and this reprogramming happens subtly through emotional experiences that feel real even though they occur during sleep, because the brain doesn't fully distinguish between imagined emotion and lived emotion, which means your dreams are literally reshaping how you respond to intimacy. And if you wake up feeling calm instead of anxious after these dreams, it is a sign that your system is integrating trust again, and if you wake up feeling longing, it doesn't mean something is missing, it means something is forming, because longing often appears right before expansion, when the heart stretches beyond its old limits, and sometimes love dreams come when you are finally ready to let go of the idea that love must look a certain way, come from a certain person, or follow a certain timeline. Because expectations can block connection, and dreams remove expectations, showing you the essence of what you desire without attaching it to form, and that essence might be warmth, understanding, laughter, emotional safety, or simply the feeling of being chosen without effort, and by focusing on the feeling rather than the person, your subconscious is aligning you with experiences that match that energy, not with old patterns that only look familiar. And if these dreams are happening during a period of change in your life, even unrelated to relationships, it is because love often surfaces when we are stepping into a new chapter, because every transformation requires emotional support, even if it comes internally first, and your dreams may be providing the reassurance you need to move forward, reminding you that you are not alone, that connection is available, and that your heart is capable of opening without losing itself. And this is especially common for people who have spent a long time being emotionally self-sufficient, because independence can become isolation without intention, and dreams gently bridge that gap, reintroducing connection in a way that doesn't threaten your autonomy, and that is why these love dreams feel balanced rather than overwhelming, because you are learning how to integrate love into your life without sacrificing your sense of self, and that balance is the foundation of healthy connection, and your subconscious knows that. Even if consciously you are still figuring it out, another reason love keeps finding its way into your dreams lately is because your inner world is finally quiet enough to hear itself, because when life is chaotic, demanding, or overwhelming, the subconscious focuses on survival symbols, stress, urgency, fear, or repetition, but when things begin to stabilize, even slightly, the heart starts speaking again, and love is one of the first languages it uses, not because everything is perfect, but because there is now enough emotional space to feel beyond immediate needs, and this is often when dreams become more vivid, more emotional, more symbolic, because the soul finally has room to breathe, and if you have been through a period of emotional loss, disappointment, or long-term waiting, these dreams may be signaling that the waiting season is slowly ending internally, even if externally nothing has changed yet, because inner readiness always precedes outer movement, and love dreams are not promises. They are preparations, gentle signals that you are no longer closed in the way you once were, and if the love you dream about feels emotionally intelligent, understanding, and patient, it's because your standards have matured, not hardened, but clarified, and clarity is one of the strongest signs of healing, because it means you know what feels right without needing chaos to feel alive, and your subconscious is showing you what emotional health looks like through imagery and feeling rather than logic. Because logic often resists hope, while dreams allow hope to exist without justification, and that is powerful, because hope that doesn't need proof is the kind that survives, and sometimes these dreams come after you have finally forgiven yourself for past choices, for staying too long, for trusting too much, or for walking away too late, because self-forgiveness unlocks the heart in ways nothing else can, and when guilt loosens its grip, love finds room to enter again. Even if only in dreams at first, and those dreams may include tenderness, reassurance, or emotional understanding, because that is what you are now offering yourself, and dreams always reflect the relationship you are building internally, and if the love feels mutual rather than one-sided, it's because you are no longer abandoning yourself for connection, and that shift is subtle but profound, because love can only stay when self-respect is present. And your subconscious knows this even if your conscious mind is still cautious, and sometimes love dreams appear when you stop obsessing about love altogether, because desperation blocks flow, but detachment opens space, and when you release control over outcomes, your inner world compensates by reminding you that love is still part of your path, even if you're not chasing it right now, and that reassurance often comes in the form of dreams that feel gentle rather than urgent, because urgency belongs to fear, while love moves at a natural pace. And if these dreams don't feel dramatic or intense but instead calm and emotionally satisfying, it means you are learning to associate love with peace rather than adrenaline, and that is a sign of emotional maturity, because real love doesn't hijack the nervous system, it soothes it, and your subconscious is training you to recognize that feeling so you don't mistake chaos for chemistry again, and this is especially important if your past experiences involved inconsistency, emotional unavailability, or imbalance, because the heart remembers patterns even when the mind wants to forget them, and dreams slowly overwrite those patterns by introducing new emotional experiences that feel safe and mutual, and if you wake up from these dreams feeling grounded rather than anxious, it means your emotional baseline is shifting, and that shift doesn't happen overnight, it happens moment by moment, dream by dream, realization by realization. And another layer to these dreams is that they may not be about romantic love at all, but about reconnecting with joy, creativity, passion, and emotional expression, because love is the energy of aliveness, and when you reconnect with yourself, love often appears symbolically as a person, a presence, or a relationship, because that is how the mind understands connection. And if you've recently felt inspired, reflective, or more emotionally aware, these dreams may be mirroring that inner awakening, showing you what it feels like to be emotionally present again. And that presence is magnetic, not just to people, but to experiences, opportunities, and moments that feel meaningful, and love dreams often arrive right before life begins to feel more colorful again, not because someone else completes you, but because you are finally allowing yourself to feel fully alive.